having already watched some of our previous tutorials, you may already be familiar with how to use the slider post type. However, we're going to focus specifically on creating a slider post and category and how to assign those to an individual page and post. So what we want to do is we want to go to our WordPress dashboard, and in our dashboard menu we want to find slider and add new. The first thing we're going to do is enter a unique title so we can identify this slider post. Once we've given our slider post a title, we can go to the content area of this post and add text that will be displayed as a slider description. Beneath our content area, we have our king size background slider options. Here we can choose to enable or disable the Read More button on this slide. We can choose custom button text. So if we don't want the default Learn More, we can put in something custom here. Next, we can choose to show titles and descriptions on the slider. We can insert a custom Read More link, as well as choose to open the link in a new tab. Next, and most importantly, we want to assign a featured image, which will be used as our background image on this slider post. So let's click Set Featured Image, and we can either choose from the existing images on our website, or we can click Upload New Files. In our example, we're just going to click and choose from an existing photo. We're going to set that featured image, and we will now see that featured image on the right side of our post. For the purpose of categorizing and filtering our slider post, we want to assign our slider post to various categories. So if this was going to be used on our homepage, we might want to check the homepage category for where we're going to store this post. If we don't have a category that we want to use, we can click Add a New Category link, type in that category name, and hit Add New Category, at which time we can check any other categories that we may want to use, and then hit Publish. So now we have one slider post. Let's go ahead and create one more, for example. And we're going to call this slider post number 2. This is our description area. If we want to customize this slider item, we can customize it using the background slider options. We're going to assign it to the page category. So now we have 2 posts for our slider backgrounds assigned to the page category. And now we're going to set our featured image. Hit Set Featured Image. Once you see that image, you're all good to go. Let's hit Publish. And now we have 2 slider posts assigned to our page category, which we can now create a new page or post and call these 2 slider images into. So let's go ahead and create a new page. In this new page, we're going to give it a title. And if we intend to show the body content, we can add text here. Next, we're going to scroll down and we're going to locate the king size background page options. Now, similar to the single image backgrounds, this time instead of using the default settings, we want to change this to the slider background. This is because we're going to be calling the slider into the background of this specific page. Just like in the other tutorials, we have the ability to hide the body content. So do we want to permanently hide the body so that the background slider shows fully visible? Do we want to temporarily hide the body? Or do we want to show the body at all times with content visible? In this example, we're going to continue to show the body. We're going to scroll down and we're going to see next our slider category ID. Now to get your slider category ID, you need to go back to the slider post type and you need to find slider categories. Let's open that up in a new tab and we can see our existing slider categories. The one we've just assigned our slider post to was the page category. So if we go all the way over to the right, we can see that that category ID is number 7. So we're going to go back to our add new page where it says slider category ID. We're going to enter the number 7. If we want to show multiple categories, we insert a comma and then the next category ID. Next thing we can do is change the transition effect from fade, slide top, slide right, slide bottom, slide left, carousel right, or carousel left. Next we can choose the number of slides. If we leave this empty, it'll show all slides from that category. Next we can choose the slider order, descending, random, custom ID, or ascending by date. Next we have the intervals, which are defined in milliseconds. These are required. So for our example, we're going to put 5,000 milliseconds, which becomes 5 seconds. Do we want to enable titles and descriptions? So we can choose to display only slider images, display titles and descriptions, only titles, or only descriptions. Next we have our transition time, just like intervals is required and is set in milliseconds. Next we have our slider controls. We can either disable the slider controls or enable the slider controls. The controller position can either be above or below the slider content. Once we've configured all our settings and we're happy with this, we can go up to the top and we can publish our new page. Once that page is published, we can go view that page on the front end of the website and we can see that we have a slider background enabled. And there you go. You can repeat these steps for pages or posts, creating an unlimited number of pages and posts using background sliders. If you have any questions or concerns, we recommend you register for our buyer support forums by visiting ourwebmedia.com/support.